Hello everyone, welcome back to Forever United TV, FUTV Live. Here we go with all your Manchester United updates. The 2nd of January, already well into the transfer window. We reported yesterday on transfers already going through. Here we go from Fabrizio Romano. The more important thing with Manchester United would seem is who we actually keeping. We've got a big update on the Kobbie Mainoo situation this morning that I want to go into detail on as well. Manchester United's wide attacking targets, according to Ben Jacobs, and the price change, a more realistic price for one of Man United's targets. We'll update you on everything else that's going on in the transfer market incoming wise as well. Interesting take on the Ugarte situation this morning as well, I want to get into with you. Something different that one of the subscribers here on Forever United TV actually picked up on yesterday from something that I said that I actually forgot about yesterday. I'll bring that up as well. Obviously, we've got talk of Ruben Amorim. We're going to go on what Romano has said on Ruben Amorim and the situation at Manchester United as well. And somehow Manchester United, after drawing 1-1 at home with the worst team in the league, have actually gained ground. Yes, I have no idea how this is happening and what this season is all about, but United have actually had an all right week on paper. We'll talk about that towards the back end of the show because it's press conference day today as well, and we're obviously looking ahead to that Leeds game and what Ruben Amorim is going to be talking about later with the injury updates. One player who was on that injury update list was Kobbie Mainoo. Now, we have a big update coming in from the Sun newspaper. I know it's the Sun, but we all know who works for the Sun now and who's their chief writer for Manchester United, and that is a certain Samuel Luckhurst, formerly of the MEN. Now, whether you like Samuel Luckhurst's takes or not, he still has contacts within Manchester United. And this is the latest coming out on Kobbie Mainoo right now within Manchester United. And this is an interesting development, I think. I'm going to get your opinions on this as well in a moment. But here, first of all, is what has been said. Kobbie Mainoo is determined not to give up on his Manchester United career despite a bleak 13 months under Ruben Amorim. Well-placed sources say the working relationship between Mainoo's camp and Amorim was strained before the midfielder's half-brother donned a free Kobbie Mainoo t-shirt at Old Trafford during the 4-4 draw with Bournemouth early in December. Despite the friction between Mainoo and Amorim, those close to the 20-year-old and a 20-year-old academy graduate say he is determined to revive his Manchester United career. This is backed up by Sully and what he said before this article. So Sully was saying this before Samuel Luckhurst. And when I've asked him and quizzed him on it and tried to get some information on it, he stuck to his original report of people saying that Kobbie Mainoo wants to be at Manchester United. Even though we have had plenty of sources come out and say Kobbie Mainoo wants to go to Napoli. He wants to leave United this month. Now, what happens past this season, if Kobbie Mainoo comes back, is a different story that we'd have to approach later on down the line. I think it's dead in the water if he goes out on loan this month for his Man United career. I really do. And I think it's a bad sign. I've said that before. But this situation, this development here, we can look at it a couple of different ways, can't we? I mean, straight away, I'm thinking, yes, Kobbie, knuckle down. Man United player, Man United fan, grew up, all you know is Manchester United, through the academy for years. He's come to his senses. He needs to fight for his place at Manchester United. Maybe someone within the team has had a chat with him. Hey, Bruno, a Casemiro, Harry Maguire, for instance. You know that leadership group that we've got that's so important to the football club? I'm thinking maybe Ruben Amorim might have sat down finally. And this is why the press conference today is so important, because Samuel Luckhurst is in this press conference today, and obviously he will have known what's been said and what's been going on with it, and he could ask that question that we're all wanting to know about, because Ruben Amorim has been open about his door being open and nobody coming in, so there's no problems. So maybe now, if we're getting stories coming out that Kobbie wants to stay at Manchester United, maybe there's been a U-turn, maybe talks have happened. We'll see what questions get thrown at Ruben Amorim later on. So make sure that you're there for that one. But you would, as a United fan, hope that Ruben Amorim and Kobbie Mainoo have had this sit down, aired their concerns, had talks. And again, Ruben Amorim has doubled down on the fact that Kobbie's a big part of this team. We need Kobbie Mainoo. Now, this also pushes Manchester United into what we all want as a fan base. Man United playing a 4 at the back, 3-man midfield. Because that's how Kobbie fits into this team. Ruben himself has said this. He's better in a 3. So if Kobbie's looking good for staying this month, yes, you could say we need players in. You might not think Kobbie Mainoo's the right type of player anyway. I still have my doubts over Kobbie Mainoo, but it's a big, big positive as a Man United fan because this is pushing us into that formation again. And the need to bring Kobbie Mainoo in to add that quality, which we need desperately, creative-wise, ball control, press resistance, things like this. That's what Kobbie brings, that little bit of guile. On his day, of course, and I'll say this again, he's still not proven to me that he is a first-team regular for Manchester United. He needs to do more, but we've seen the glimpses and there is hope. Now, with what's come out and what's been said that he wants to fight for his place at Manchester United, the first week into the transfer window, I have to take that as a Kobbie has realised that he belongs at United. He's not going to get this move. United have shut that door, and that's still the stance from other people reporting on this. Romano will say that Kobbie Mainoo is open to a move to Napoli. He's seen what Scott McTominay, Rasmus Højlund, his former teammates, are doing there in Napoli, and he thinks he can turn his career around and prove to Ruben Amorim that he should be a number one pick by playing somewhere else in a different country. I didn't think that that was the right idea, personally. I thought that he needs to do what Casemiro has done, what Aiden Heaven has done. Fight for his place in this side and prove to Ruben Amorim that you're number one. Make Ruben look like an idiot. That's what you need to do as a player. And I think that that's the hope that we've got as Man United fans with these stories here on Samuel Lucker saying that he is determined to turn his Manchester United career around. He wants to be a Man United player. It kind of marries up with the fact that Kobbie doesn't want to permanently leave Manchester United like the transfer gurus are saying, the Ornsteins, the Romanos. He's not keen on permanently leaving. He only wanted a loan. Loan's not helping Man United right now because we're not going to be able to get anybody else in. So Kobbie's been told he's got to stay. Is he sat there just dealing with the fact that the club won't release him and it's up to the club and he's got to deal with it? Whether or not he feels hard done to or not, his attitude will show surely when he steps back out on the pitch next time. But the good thing from our point of view is, like I've just said there, Kobbie wants to knuckle down and fight for his place. That's good for everyone's morale within the squad. And it shows again that academy graduates are being turned now from these prima donna entitled players that need to walk into Man United's first team because they've been at the club all their career to you're just another player in this squad that has to fight for his place in this side and do more. And it pushes Ruben into a different formation, which we all need to happen because that's the only way United will progress this season. And we know this. So that, I think, is a big, big plus on that side of things. There is, however, the other side of this. And this is where a lot of the more, let's just not fully negative, but the ones that feel like the doom and gloom at Manchester United is never, ever going to change unless the manager is gone. Does Kobbie Mainoo and his people know that Ruben Amorim's time is up at Manchester United? Now, I don't want to push that side of things, but it is a reality, and we know this, so we have to talk about it. Please don't take this as me saying Ruben's gone or anything like that. I'm balancing the conversation. There is a plus and a negative, I think, from this news. And obviously, some people will see this as a positive because they don't like Ruben Amorim. But do Kobbie Mainoo and his representatives know something that we don't? And it's like, just stick it out, Kobbie. Your time's going to come because there's already plans and talks going on behind the scenes, like we've spoken about over the last few days, for Ruben Amorim to be moved aside. Now, Oliver Glasner has obviously been spoken about as the manager. Romano himself has actually completely poured cold water over the talk of Maresca, thank God. I thought that was the case anyway, and I think we all did. But just to go back to the here and now and what's more likely, Ruben Amorim's job is obviously on the line. Every single player's and manager's jobs are on the line at Manchester United all of the time. So this talk is coming, and we all know that Kobbie Mainoo behind the scenes hasn't been happy with Ruben, his game time, free Kobbie Mainoo, all of that garbage that's been going on. There could be a side of this where Kobbie Mainoo, and we all know who his representatives are. We've talked about this all of the time. His agents are known for it. The same with Dean Henderson at Manchester United and what they did in pushing him and coming out and saying things. Now, the good thing I would say, and the bit that's overriding the negative in this, the negative being Ruben, obviously about to lose his job. The good bit is that obviously we see Kobbie Mainoo knuckling down and training, and everyone's said everything about Kobbie Mainoo around Carrington is a positive, and he's just getting on with it. He's the model pro. He's not coming out and he's talking crap. He's not said anything. And we need to remember this in the Kobbie Mainoo debate. He hasn't said anything. It's everyone else around him that's saying it, which I've always gone on about. They will destroy Kobbie Mainoo's career. His family, his agents, they're the ones that really are the problem here. And Kobbie knows that they represent him. So my argument with Kobbie is that he's allowing his people to do it. Just say to him, don't say anything. Let everyone else do the talking. You don't need to come out and make any kind of scene at all. That's my argument with Kobbie anyway. And the fact that he still needs to prove to us that he's good enough to stay in this team and keep a starting 11 position because his player's ahead of him. Simple as. You're at Man United. It's going to be the same if you go anywhere else. What happens if you go to Napoli and Kevin De Bruyne comes back into the side from his injury? Do you know what I mean? It's that sort of conversation. Are you going to dislodge Scott McTominay from his attacking role there? Because that's where I think Kobbie Mainoo also plays. It's the same at every football club. And Scott McTominay pretty much nailed that with that interview that he did a couple of weeks ago. It's always going to be difficult. Every club treats you fairly and the same and gives you everything to succeed. It's if you fit in and you create your own sort of atmosphere within the club and helping yourself fit into that club is what's important. I think that's the message. And Kobbie just needs to get to grips with that, I think. But we don't know. He might be thinking that. Because, like I said a minute ago, it's everyone else talking. And this is where we're at with Kobbie now. So hopefully, this isn't a Ruben Amorim's days are up. Some people might think that's okay, like I said. But still, we want United to be winning games and therefore Ruben keeps his job. And we look at Kobbie Mainoo knuckling down and getting on with everything. And just seeing this now, this opportunity which we're hearing is going to be on Sunday with Kobbie back in. Today will confirm that, obviously, on the press conference, injury-wise. I pray to God that he is, because it just gives us another option. And like I said, it pushes us into a potentially a more attacking 4-3-3 sort of formation where we've got Ugarte, Casemiro and Kobbie Mainoo in the midfield. And then we're looking at the Mason Mount update as well coming later. Can you imagine if having Mason Mount and Kobbie Mainoo back in that side and Harry Maguire for the game against Leeds on Sunday? The difference that would make. Massive for Manchester United. So let's hope that it's that, and let's hope that that's where we're going here with this story from Samuel Luckhurst. And Kobbie Mainoo has indeed seen that he has to stay and fight for his time, his place at Manchester United. He's spoken to Ruben, and it's not the other, that it's about to all completely blow up again, and he's just waiting out the storm, and he comes back into the side because Ruben's not there. Let's get into some of your comments, everybody. Welcome along, live chats. How are you all doing? Hope you all good. I'm going to scroll through some random ones and get up some comments on here as well. Let's see what we've got here as well. Hi, Adam. I would take Cancelo. Sorry, would you take Cancelo? I'll go on to the transfer news shortly as well. I know he used to play for a rival as the fullback. I know what you mean, the Portuguese fullback, Cancelo. He's another one over in Saudi Arabia, isn't he? So I don't know on that one. He sort of rolls into the Ruben Neves situation for me. Glenn says, Mainoo ran our midfield and ran the England midfield before he got injured last season. He was more than proved he can play for United. He has more than proved he can play for United. United fan who has watched him and thinks otherwise. I watched him last season start 17 games for Ruben Amorim and be part of a worst Premier League team in our history at the football club. It's all about opinions. And Glyn, you're welcome to yours, mate. Fully welcome to yours. You have a different one to me. I don't think he's done enough. I think there is some fans, and I'm not saying this is you, Glyn, by the way. I think there are some fans looking at United playing bad in midfield and just thinking that bringing Kobbie Mainoo in is going to change it because he's had some good games. He's just like everybody else. He's the same. He's not better than Bruno Fernandes in an 8, and he's not better than Casemiro as a 6. Are Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes the right options for us? No. Are they what we've got in the squad right now? Yes. Is that Ineos and Ruben Amorim's fault? Yes. But when it comes to the debate of Kobbie Mainoo, he isn't the saviour for Manchester United. He's another option. And it's up to him to become that permanent fixture. And I disagree with your opinion that he's done enough. He hasn't for me. That's just my opinion. And you're totally welcome to yours. I see where you're going. He has had good games, mate, but not for me. That's all. Mainoo going, still coming, 50 million euros at Germany reporting, says Peter. We will see. The Stiller reports are always going to be there, like I said in previous shows. There's nothing concrete on Stiller at all yet. He is just up there with the other 3 top targets for United. So we will be keeping an eye on Stiller, but there's nothing definite on that yet at the moment anyway. See what's what. United need more pace in every position. Good point. Good point. I do think we are lacking in pace at the moment. Even though Bryan Mbeumo has topped up one of their fastest speeds in a game of football this season. I don't know if you've seen that stat, actually. It still feels like we haven't got that blistering pace, doesn't it? It feels like we're lacking in that area. We've got strength, power and fight and a lot more quality on the ball in the Konya and Mbeumo Ahmad sort of area of the pitch. But we just need that pace. We need that pace. By the way, everybody, anyone who's going in on the Bruno thing, look, I'm saying they're not the best options for us right now. That's all it is. Bruno, Casemiro, they're not the best options for the two men in midfield, just to clear that up, everybody. We need Bruno further up the pitch in the 10s, like we know he is good at, and proper number 8s and 6s in them positions, I think. Casemiro's good, but he's ageing. And Bruno's a 10. We all know this. So that's the point I'm trying to make with that there as well. And I don't think Kobbie's the right player for a two-man midfield either. This is what it is. You're at Man United and you're competing for places in the side. Does anyone know how many... Okay. How many wheelbarrows? This is from Paul Collyer. How many wheelbarrows Mainoo needs for his new pay packet? We've said about the pay before. That's another story on Kobbie Mainoo. Obviously, the contract situation is still going to rumble on behind the scenes, which is always going to be a problem. And it's always going to be something that people come back to. Kobbie wanting a lot of money. So, yes, let's see how that contract situation develops. I think that's going to move on in the summer. Let's see what happens from now to the end of the season with Kobbie, and if that does affect the wage situation. If he gets his chance and takes his chance, then Kobbie's in the driving seat with that contract, isn't he? And he might get closer to what he wants, but he has to prove it. And I just hope that he gets the chance now with everyone being out, and he really does grab it with two hands. I don't know, though. Like I keep saying, I don't know. I'm not convinced yet. Another comment here says, good morning, Adam. Kobbie is overrated, in my opinion. His pace is worrying, and I don't think he will ever be good enough for Manchester United. That from Meridian. But I think he has got the capabilities. I'm never going to say that Kobbie Mainoo hasn't got the qualities. And maybe Ruben's not the right type of manager for him. But I think he's still got a lot to prove. Can he put it together? If he's in a three-man midfield, I think he can. And we'll see. But I keep going on about it. He has not done anywhere near enough to warrant this amount of news, speculation and whole circus around him. He's not that big. It's because he's an academy player and he's had a good Euros and some great moments for Man United in spells. That's where we're at with Kobbie. But I think there's more to come from him. I just hope we do get it in a Man United shirt. And he takes this opportunity from this news that we're talking about and moves forward with it. Right, let's get a couple more comments in as well. We had a super chat in there as well. Bear with me 1 second, everyone. I'm just going to bring up that and then we can move on to the next subject as well. Leo, welcome. Not welcome. Thank you for renewing the membership. 21 months a member. Hope 2026 is better for us all. Kaz also creeping up to that 24-month, 2-year membership as well. Happy New Year to the FUTV chat. Best community. That's 23 months a member for Kaz now. Almost 2 years in the bag. Wow. Ruben ain't getting sacked, says Ants. Deal with it, people. That's for the super chat there from him. Kobbie is just a more talented Xerxes. Sorry, says Ants. Ants going in brutal mode there with his super chats this morning. Get your thoughts in, everybody, and let me know what you think regarding Kobbie Mainoo. Get in there. Kobbie isn't anywhere near as good as Wharton, Anderson, and a few other youth England centre midfielders right now. He's probably 5th choice England centre midfielder at this point. Yeah, I don't think he's getting back in that England side for Tuchel. I really don't. Not with like what Cal says there in the comment. The other players that are in front of him, definitely not. Okay, let's get into the other news and let's get into everything that's been said as well. So what we're talking about with Ruben Amorim, obviously that leads into what we were speaking about regarding the Kobbie Mainoo situation. The other side of it, does Kobbie Mainoo and his representatives actually know something that's going on behind the scenes with Ruben, and he's just waiting it out. Obviously, we're hoping that that isn't the scenario. But Fabrizio Romano on Ruben Amorim and the future of the manager at Manchester United and the stance at the moment. In his show, Romano came out and said that Manchester United remain on their stance and backing Ruben Amorim. United are not planning for anything different at this stage. It's just coming down to where we are in the league, what we're competing for. If Ineos feel like Ruben Amorim is doing a good enough job to bring Manchester United European football. There was a story that came out yesterday that Sir Jim Ratcliffe actually secretly feels that this squad is good enough to make Champions League football this season. I agree. And that's not because I like Ineos or anything. I've said this, and that was my stance at the start of the season, as you all know. I thought we should take advantage of not having European football more. Not been the case so far, but we're still in the fight. And I think this is like what Romano's saying here. It's just a case of Manchester United right now are still fighting for them places. So they're not going to get rid of Ruben. It's not the end of the world. This was the target. Get Europa League football. We're in that position right now. So why is he going to go? That's the only stance of it. The opinions of fans not liking Ruben, they're fine. Some people might think he just needs to go anyway. It's never going to change. We've seen enough. We're going to probably just miss out at the end of the season. It's all there and that debate is there. But I'm just reporting here on what Romano has said. And it is probably more realistic than anything else in that they're not going to get rid of him while we're still up there in the top six. It's not going to happen. I think we just have to accept that. We have to pray, like I said before, with the Kobbie Mainoo situation, just going back to that quickly, that Kobbie Mainoo coming back in the side and these injuries and AFCON has forced us into playing this formation under Ruben. Ruben survives if he plays a 4-3-3. It is that black and white. Simple. I think that's the case in what we're talking about right now. I do. And this is, I feel, where it's going. It's only going to go wrong for Ruben. And I think this month is big, like I said last night. If Ruben has a shocker of a January because of the rival matches, the big matches that are coming up, the FA Cup, things like this, I think this is where it's all going to come down and make a massive, massive difference for Manchester United and Ruben Amorim. And that will make Ineos's mind up, I feel, as well. And look, when you look at what Manchester United are missing, it's like stats that come out, and this is where it will change with the AFCON players coming back again. I think this is what Ruben keeps on using. No player has created more chances than Bryan Mbeumo, 8 in the AFCON tournament so far. You've got this quality coming back to Manchester United, and I think this is what Ruben's going to keep on banging on about constantly as well. And I think Ineos are also going to look at that side of it, with them players coming back and two of our key players missing right now in Mbeumo and Ahmad. That's always going to be part of their debate and argument as well for Ruben and staying at Manchester United and them not pulling a trigger. Where we don't like it, we are still where we are. On paper, it doesn't look bad. Reality and what we're watching, kind of, really disappointing and frustrating for the Manchester United fans. But the stance as it is at the moment is that Manchester United, Ineos are backing Ruben Amorim. That was from what Romano said. Make your own minds up off that, everybody, as well. Alongside that, he did say that Maresca is not in talks with Manchester United. But that is basically just off of what Ornstein and Romano have already reported, that Maresca has been talking to Manchester City. I think in the same conversation, it came up maybe that he would be interested in the Man United job as well. But City were the talks as to why there's been all of this disruption behind the scenes with Maresca and Chelsea, not United. So let's move on from that into the transfer news again and Manchester United incomings. Now, of course, Manchester United are still looking for a wide attacking player. This from Ben Jacobs. I think he was talking with Gimme Sport about this and saying that Manchester United are monitoring, obviously, Diamande, the link with Vivell. We've talked about this before in terms of why United are looking at him. He is 19 years old. He's a young Ivory Coast winger playing in AFCON right now with Ahmad. The situation with him is, and the story in the recent days has been of the price tag. 87 million, 80 plus million is Leipzig's price tag on this. This, not the case And reports from Ben Jacobs and a couple of other people as well are saying that it is, in terms of the teams looking at Diamande, United, Spurs, I think Dortmund as well, we're also looking at the reality is that it's more of a £52 million signing, not a £80+ million signing. This is where the price is for Diamande. Now, that obviously brings in a bit more of a real feel to the potential of signing him. The word, again, is that he is not available in January, though. That's the killer in it. And United, if he was, would go for him. United might try and get him in January, but Leipzig's stance is that he's not available in January. The big difference in this one, the update on Diamande, is that it's more of a £50+ million transfer, not the speculated €100 million, £87 million sterling transfer fee that's been going around and doing the numbers now. It's, I think, probably a more realistic price tag, even though I still feel a little bit apprehensive in terms of bringing in a young 19-year-old who's playing in the Bundesliga. And you obviously know why I'm saying that. It is the concern, but powerful, he's direct, he's skillful, and he is doing well in the Bundesliga this season. His numbers are decent, and he's obviously playing well in AFCON as well, as Ivory Coast make the last 16 of that tournament. So, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind Ahmad on one side and Diamande on the other. What works well for me. A lot of United fans will come out and say, not another African player we're going to lose to AFCON every other year. Why are we doing this? We cannot think of AFCON. It is 4 weeks out of the season, and we need to be picking up the best African players that we can alongside the best Asian and South American players that we can. This is something that we've moaned about for years at this football club. Why are we always looking at the obvious? We have to be in this market. It's massively important for us to be in and getting the best players that are in these different nations and different continents. It's what United have not done before. So Leipzig have done it, and they've been successful with him in their side. United need to be on top of these. And again, he fits the profile for Manchester United under Ineos. I'm not saying he's the answer. I'm just saying this is where this club is going now. And it is one of them players, isn't it? We all know that this is the perfect type of player for Ineos. I see people in the chat there. It's a Sancho 2.0. You can say that, yes. It's a Mkhitaryan. It's a Shinji Kagawa. It's any player that comes from the Bundesliga to Manchester United. That's what it is, isn't it? But he's 19, and obviously it's Benjamin Sesko. You could add that one to it as well right now, couldn't you? He's 19, and I think fully unproven. You're backing the recruitment team on this one, aren't you, fully? But look at the teams that are in for him as well. Look at the teams that are also in for him. And that's how you judge a player. If the other big guns are in for him, then you know that he's got a talent. And every scout from every club has got something. I tried to play this one down because it's a summer transfer, but it does look like we are doing work behind the scenes now to perhaps maybe move this forward for the summer window as well. So that's something else that I think is worth talking about. I don't see it happening in January, but let's get your comments in on this now. I'm going to jump into the comments section and see what we're saying regarding all of the subjects so far as well. Not just the Diamande, but Ruben's future, Kobbie Mainoo. Get into the chat. Talk to me about the potential of bringing in a forward. Again, the story on Mateta was brought up from Sky yesterday, and a lot more people are reporting that contract situation we spoke about yesterday morning about him coming in. Mateta was on the score sheet again yesterday for Palace against Fulham, proving again why United need to be looking at him. 28, yes, coming to the back end of his career, but we have got enough young players and enough young forwards in our team. A bit of experience would not go amiss. He's a must, I think, for United. I think it's a great sign if we get him over the line. And with a super chat says, peeps, we need to wake up. Acting like we are still a top team and expecting those results are not. We are a mid-table team now. It's sad, but it's true. Well, we're not a mid-table team, mate, because we're in the European places right now, which is where this team should be. We have brought in players that are the best in class in Cunha and Mbumo from last season, strengthened our front line, scoring more goals. We should have more than enough in that defence. The mistake we've made is not strengthening the midfield. I don't think we're a mid-table team. I think we're a top 7 team right now, a European team. And we can take advantage of a topsy-turvy Premier League with no European football to play, which has been the Achilles heel for us over the last few years. Like last season, going all in on the Europa League cost us the Premier League places. This time we should be getting more results in the Premier League and moving further up that table. Let's see. I don't think we're a mid-table team. I think we are top 7. That's where we are. And we are where we should be right now. But it's a great chance to just sneak a couple more positions, I think, this season, and then go and invest and turn that into a top 4 side next. That should be the process. That should be where United are looking at. Tottenham then. Is that how you say that? Tottenham then. Tottenham, I think that's how you say it. That's a tongue twister for me. Thanks for the super chats. It's sad that we brought sanity in a dressing room by letting go of our guys like Rashford, and we're creating another in Kobbie. Pep will simply let you go. No player is bigger than the club. This is the thing. We know with Marcus Rashford, Garnacho, Sancho, these problem players, that there were big issues. Now, Kobbie just wants to play football, according to the reports. And we can only go off what we've seen and what's been said. But the same people that were bringing up the negative side of United behind the scenes in Rashford and Garnacho, them same people are saying that Kobbie Mainoo is not kicking up a stink at United. So it's what we believe as well. Do we believe in them stories? Or are we going to allow ourselves to be convinced by things that have gone on before and this be the same scenario again? I get what you're saying totally. And I don't like it either. No one player is bigger than this football club. That is a definite as well. Kev says Amorim has no tactical knowledge. Whatever happened to the recent takeover news, that has gone quiet as well. But takeover news does not go quickly. Let's give that one time to bubble and see what happens by the end of the season, is what I say. We don't need players from other leagues, Adam. We only want Prem proven players. Look at the problems we have with overseas players. Look at Sesko stinking the place out. No, Joe, we do need players from overseas. We cannot just get all Premier League players. We need to bring in players. Like, nobody's complaining about Matthias de Ligt and Nus Mazraoui, are they? No one's complaining about Senna Lamens right now. These all came from outside of the Premier League. Never played a Premier League game in their lives. So I get the push for Prem proven where we can. And if we can, go and get it. But we have to bring in players from overseas as well. The recruitment side of it and the scouting have to be on point, and we have to trust that process with them. And that's difficult because of the mistakes that you're probably talking about and alluding to there, Joe. Mark says, what you're implying is that your opinion is right. I need to evaluate so it matches yours, your troll. Oh, right. Sorry, it's talking to someone else. Sorry, Mark. I can tell you that was definitely not aimed at me. And just like I said, I know I've just been talking about Diamonde's price tag there being out of the Premier League. Doesn't necessarily mean that you get a bargain player. You can overspend in players that you bring in from outside of the Prem, but Prem players do carry a massive price tag, don't forget, and that's something that needs to be brought up as well. I don't want to bring it up, but it's a fact. It is, isn't it? I don't want that to be the excuse, is what I'm saying. I just think it's a fact. De Ligt and Mazraoui were bought from Bayern, a top European side, not some mid-table German team. Big difference. Yeah, but everyone was moaning about them, Carl. Everyone was saying that they weren't good enough. Why are we taking the rejects from big clubs like that who can't handle it at the top level? You got to look at it from that side as well, mate. And we got to stop making excuses or finding ways to play down transfers. It's not like you talk about Senna Lamens there. It's like Carl there picks out De Ligt and Mazraoui out of the 3 that I just mentioned because they fit the narrative more. I'm not having a go at you, Carl, but this is what naturally happens to people. But didn't pick out Lamens. I said get Martinez. Martinez was the answer. Prem proven, experienced. We went and got a young kid from Belgium. So it's what you want to pick out, isn't it? You could easily go and pick out another player like Ahmad. Why did we buy Ahmad? Nobody's seen the quality that this kid had. We could have developed him a lot quicker than what we did. Brought him in from nowhere. Again, you could easily say Rasmus Højlund, same club. Look at the mess we made with that. There's an argument for both, is what I'm saying. Really. No one's wrong with their opinions on that. I think you've just got to look at where we are now, use that, and not make the same mistakes again. If we've got money to get the Prem proven players, go get them. They're the ones that are going to make the difference instantly. And if you've got them players in your side playing well, then you buy the European players from different leagues. It gives them a better chance. It's like right now, we bought in Benjamin Sesko and got rid of Rasmus Højlund. On paper, you look at both players and you're like, well, no better. But Man United are scoring more goals this season. Why? Because we brought in Prem proven players around him. Cannot just go out and get bargains everywhere from Europe and Asia, Africa, South America, hope that that's going to work in the Prem. You have to have a plan, structure, and recruitment has to be bang on. There needs to be a blend of both. And that's why we're scoring more goals. It's Cunha, it's Mbeumo. It's Ahmad playing better with them players. It's Bruno playing better with them players. Sesko is linking play up and doing a job at the moment. His goals are just not showing, and that's what he's going to be judged on. But United are playing better up front in that area of the pitch with them new players in the side, and you cannot argue with that. The facts and stats back that up. On paper, individually, it's different, and I know that. And you can look at that and use that, or you can look at the fact that we actually did do well in the players we bought this summer. We just didn't buy enough. Goalkeeper, massive upgrade. Forwards, 20 times better. And it's proven. They are performing better. The facts and stats there back it up. So it's just a shame we didn't go out and do the same and bring in another midfielder. And I think we would be a lot better off this season. I honestly, I'm with the Prem proven players though. You all know that that's the way. Mateta, sign him. Get him in this side and in this squad. If you manage to do that in January, Champions League football. I'm just going to say that now. Because we put more of them chances away. I mean, United are creating chances. Again, the stats and facts. I'm not going to bang on about it anymore, but they're there to back it up, aren't they? So, yeah, great debate, and I love it. And I do get what Cal's saying. I get what other people are also saying, like Joe there as well in the community, talking about what we need to do. We need to bring in the Prem players. I'm with you, totally. I'm just saying there is an argument there as well, that there is other players out there that we can get a hold of that are going to be good in the Premier League still as well. It's down to the recruitment team. 24 months a member for London. What a legend. He says, hit that like button, please. Happy Friday, everybody. Please do pop your like on the video. Make sure you keep hitting that subscribe button as well to stay fully updated. The Ugarte situation was a story I said at the top of this show that I wanted to update you on. Here is the latest on this one. And I also said there was a tiny little twist in this in terms of what somebody else brought up in terms of Ugarte leaving Manchester United. Now, in a show yesterday, I said Ugarte leaving can't happen because we haven't got a replacement. And I got a little bit excited thinking, whoa, maybe we are going for Baleba. Maybe we are actually looking at another midfielder to come in, a Conor Gallagher, someone like that. Well, as you can see going across the bottom of your screen there, same stance coming out from different sources again. Conor Gallagher is only going to be a permanent move. Difficult for United to make happen. If United sold Ugarte, then we could buy Conor Gallagher. Straight swap. Some people will be happy with that. The latest on Conor Gallagher from Turkey is Ugarte has emerged as Galatasaray's top jamming transfer target, with talks underway for a low move for United that includes a 25 million option to buy next summer. Now, whatever triggers that or how that happens, I have no idea. The details are there somewhere. We're not going to see them yet. But I always found this move was difficult to happen. But top sources are now coming out saying that this could happen. I'm like, if you're letting Ugarte go, someone's got to come in. And then I forgot I'd mentioned something the other day. And someone brought up a comment on yesterday's video, which is perfect comment, really. And I forgot all about it yesterday, is that Toby Collyer is back in Man United's squad. He won't be returning to West Brom. Now, he's injured, I know, but he'll be back after, well, we're looking to be, Toby Collyer will be back maybe around about the February time. And maybe we're looking at Toby Collyer as the replacement for Manuel Ugarte. Now, I don't want to make everyone feel horrible and make that, it sounds really doom and gloom, doesn't it? Bringing Collyer back and Ugarte goes. They're on the same level, I would say. I don't rate Ugarte. Everyone knows this. He put on a show against Newcastle, then went back to type against Wolves the other night. Collyer is not the answer for Manchester United. I don't want to make that clear. But someone made a good point, and I just wanted to bring that up. The stories keep on coming out about Manuel Ugarte and him leaving United, even potentially in January. And we've always said we need another player to come in, and everyone's reported this. One out, one has to come in. Collier's already back. And United, can we last out a month without Ugarte in the side? Or can we see out the end of January with Ugarte and then sell him right at the end of the month? Of course we can. Because Toby Collyer will be closer to fitness there. If Kobbie Mainoo is going to get more chances in this team with a three-man midfield, you got Leach who could step forward into that midfield instead of Ugarte, with obviously De Ligt and Maguire both coming back, Yoro and Heaven there as well. Your centre-backs covered between Mainoo, Martinez, Collier, Bruno, Casemiro. You've got a three-man midfield. Mount's dropped back into a three-man midfield. Can we cope? The answer is yes. We can cope without Manuel Ugarte. You see where I'm going with it, can't you? It's not ideal, but just something that was rightly brought up yesterday from the community. Good shout. Pete saying stop swearing there. I don't want this to happen. I'm going to make that clear. I'm just reporting what is factually out there right now. Collier is staying at United. He's injured and he's on recovery, but he will be back this season, for the back end of the season. We've still got Ugarte for a month, and then we could move him on, going off the Toby Collyer recovery. I'm just saying, that's all. It's there, and it's an option. And I know everyone's hating it. I don't want it, but I think there is a realism in it with the players that we've got. Again, the positive is pushing the forward at the back three-man midfield from this, and that's the only way that this actually works. But still, it's the quality of playoff that's the bigger problem with Man United, I feel. And Collier's not got it. I think he managed 12 appearances and 1 assist for West Brom in that loan spell. He did have a couple of spells out on the sideline. I mean, straight away you would say, well, why are we even looking at Collier as an option if Ugarte leaves, if he's got this poor injury record? He's just not going to play that much. And he's just an option to bring on, who knows Ruben's system, who knows the club, and the integration side of things isn't going to be difficult. Is that a stopgap? 100% it's a stopgap, and it's plugging a hole with, it's a round peg in a square hole. That's what it is, isn't it? That's the issue there, and we've said that that's been a problem at this club for years. You can't avoid the obvious, and that is there, staring us right in the face, and I think it does need talking about as well. So, yeah, just a little reminder there that we have got Collier back, and that is another midfielder that's going to come into play a bit later on through this year. So, yeah, let's discuss it. Let's get into the comments section. Sorry, bro, Collier nowhere near good enough, and he's injury prone. I think you just literally, Marty, said everything that I just said there, mate. It's not like I'm throwing this. I've just said what you said, mate. And it's not the answer at all. I have to break everything down, and I have to talk about every option, and that is there. That's why I left it to the end of the show. To be honest, everyone would have turned off if I started the show with that. Mainoo stays, Ugarte's out, and Collier comes in. Breaking news. Oh, like, yeah, that's the way it is with United, isn't it, at the moment? And I get it. Anyone who says that is nonsense, I don't want it, dead right. Dead right. I'm not going against you at all on that one. It's just United have got this plan of doing this big business in the summer, and anything that can see us through this season, it's like clinging on. And I use what Ruben said in this as well. And when he said, if we have to suffer, we have to suffer. God, it's painful. And I don't want to write off a season just to get to the summer. This season is vital for United. We need to get out there and get somebody in to help us get over the line and get into Europe. Don't let this chance pass. Please, United, please don't allow this to happen. Get somebody in who is going to improve this team in January and help Ruben Amorim out, for God's sake, because it isn't going to work with what we have got, I don't think. There's a half a chance with playing the four at the back and we get the AFCON players back and everyone stays fit. Half a chance. But reality tells us if we brought in a midfielder, if we brought in another attacker as well as more options, better quality than what we've got right now, it's going to be a lot easier to make European football this season and finish in that top 6. I think Champions League is there for United. Top 5 is in our grasp. We're basically level with Chelsea right now, which is why I wanted to move on to the end of the show. Somehow, Manchester United, having drawn with the worst team in Premier League history, are actually better off this week. I'm just looking at it here. And check this out, out of the top 7 teams in the league, and you're thinking, right, who's around us? In fact, we'll do the top 10. The top 10 teams in the league this week, this game week, 2 wins. Everton and Arsenal. That's it. Arsenal won, like City drew with Sunderland. So there's Sunderland not gaining on us, City not moving away from us. Aston Villa lost to Arsenal. So we pulled a point back on Aston Villa. Liverpool draw yesterday with Leeds. So we're not any worse off with them. Chelsea drew with Bournemouth. We're not any worse off than them as well. Brentford drew last night, who could have caught up to us and been level on points with us, believe it or not. They didn't win. Crystal Palace obviously didn't win. Fulham could have been right up behind us, believe it or not. This is how tight the season actually is. And you're going all the way down to Spurs here on 26 points, who are only 4 points away from us. They didn't win yesterday either. So everybody has dropped points this week apart from Arsenal and Everton. And Everton won to climb into the top half of the table, obviously beating Nottingham Forest. It's been an absolutely crazy week, and marking the halfway point of this season, this game week has proved that there is a massive opportunity for Manchester United this season to get into the Champions League. And so important to go out in January now and make something happen. Give this squad that lift, that bit of help for Ruben Amorim, which is going to get us over the line and give us that extra little bit, because we know the money's there. Mainoo money was put aside. It's there. We were going to buy him. 65 million quid. So we know that we can go and get someone. Make something happen that's going to give us that opportunity in the summer to get them better players and move this team forward. This is progression. Spending money in January now isn't a false economy like a lot of people say. You don't get the best deals. No. If you've got an opportunity, you go and make that January deal happen. City did it last season, spending nearly 200 million. It's doable. Get out there, get the player you want. If you have to spend a little bit more, then do it so you get that guarantee that you're getting the Champions League money, because that will pay for itself. I think this is how important it is right now. And the game week this week just proves that this is there for the taking. If you don't take advantage of this now, then it's going to be even harder, because we're not going to get our top targets in the summer. I think Mainoo going to City has proved that this January. Warning sign, slap in the face, big red flag. Go and spend now. Get into the Champions League. Otherwise, you are going to fall away. Not being in the Champions League constantly for Manchester United is unheard of. We're on the brink of it this season. We could grab it, or we could just fall away. And there's no one bringing any more investment into Manchester United if we're not playing in the biggest competitions. It's crucial right now that United go out and make this happen. And I pray that they do some business in January, because there are players out there that can make this work. Let's go out there and push it. And let's go out there and act like Manchester United. That's what I'm saying anyway. Of course, I want your comments on it as well. Mike with a super chat says, thank you, Mike, by the way, buddy. And thank you to everyone else who's put them super chats in this morning. We are back. Are we back to back 5 for the rest of the way? No, Mike. I think it's impossible to be constantly at a back 5 for the rest of this season with the players that we've got. We need to go back 4 so we can fit the midfield in. If Kobbie Mainoo plays this weekend, it has to be in a midfield 3. So, by the way, a quick reminder again that Manchester United manager Ruben Amorim will be speaking to the media ahead of the game this weekend against Leeds. Big press conference today. We'll be covering it from 1 o'clock. It's big because, obviously, our top story on Kobbie Mainoo, Samuel Luckhurst breaking this, that Kobbie Mainoo now wants to fight for his place at Manchester United. Has there been a conversation between Mainoo and Ruben Amorim? Let's see if that question gets asked today. Also, Maguire, Mount, Mainoo, all top of the agenda for injury updates in today's press conference from Ruben Amorim as well. Them 3 players would make a huge difference to Manchester United's matchday squad. we could be going into the Leeds game, unlike the one against Wolves, with a bomb squad member, a goalkeeper, and 6 academy players on the bench. Just to have a little bit of experience back in the side would be nice. And I think we're going to need it going into a Leeds game. We cannot expect our academy players to turn up at Leeds, who are in great form at the moment, by the way, having got that draw yesterday, while resting players as well, I might add. They're going into this game buoyant and ready to take Manchester United down. United are going to have to be right on their mettle to actually get anything out of this game. Thank you, everybody who has been in on the show. Another super chat in there from Aminor says, Mount should retire and become a TikToker. Snowflake. Give him a chance, mate. He's been fit all season. He's had a better injury record than most this season for Man United. And if he turns up today, mate, he's going to put you in your place. Thanks, Aminor. Appreciate it, mate. Champions League with the new format also needs Man United. Well, goes without saying, but we've got to take the opportunity on it. We won't pay Lewandowski the money he wants. Someone talking about Lewandowski. You're joking, aren't you? No chance that he's coming in at his age under Ineos. Never in a million years. Amorim and Kobbie Mainoo is the future of Manchester United in a previous presser. So obviously a conversation was had. We will see. I'm sure the question will be asked today alongside everything else. I will see you at 1 o'clock with that one, everybody. And that is our morning show all done and wrapped up. Thank you, everyone. A brilliant conversation this morning. Loads of updates. Get your comments in on all the subjects after the live is finished. Get into the comments section there. Simon, thank you for renewing the membership. Happy New Year, Adam, and legends of the chat. I love that. Keep them coming, everybody. Keep them comments coming in. I'll see you all later. Pop a like on the video on the way out. And, of course, make sure you hit that subscribe button